A few singles. As you know, working with Faded Records, and we've got a single coming out, or remix of Beauty and the Struggle coming out in January 11th. So that's kind of like kicking it off as far as the first like single out after the album, and then from there, you know, it's gonna be kind of like singles and building it up. So. Beyond a lot of other things, which we'll keep off the record, you know, we've got some business stuff that we're working on, but yeah, man, it's just the next part is it's the fun part, but also like the business part. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. So let me ask you this. So you and I, one of the reasons we really connected was because we both have like professional careers. You had a career in finance, I had a career in management consulting. Like, what got you into this, and like what keeps you motivated? Because it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of things to balance. You know, what keeps you motivated?
This is hip hop or music has always been my like true passion, and I don't think I let a lot of people know about that until like later on, just because I was probably like shy and like it wasn't even, you know, when I started it I wasn't good. But I've been, if you don't know this, it's, you know, I've been writing music, working on it since I was 14. And a lot of people don't know that. They think, you know, they know that I've like put out songs before, but I don't think they know how like serious and how much I loved it. You know, besides from like close family and good friends. So I mean, motivation is it's just my passion. Like you know, there's no way around it. As far as the business background, I mean, just from what I've seen so far, I think, you know, it's a very unique mix that we have. Kind of, we're artists. And we want to stay that way first, but artists with business backgrounds in this era, when a lot of people are like, kind of like DIY, do it yourself, you know, that's kind of the era we're in now. And I mean, it's going to stand us in really good stead because, you know, I always said this from the beginning when I was making my album, the first and most important objective to accomplish is to have a really good product, which our product is our music. Okay, beyond that, it's, you know, if you have a good product, then you can go out and market it. Now, marketing, it has its own art, right? It's like it's a business in itself. So, you know, where those two like mesh is, you know, extremely important. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but.
Like in following your music, dude, one of the things I notice is like, and one of the things I know about you being a close friend is like, you take great pride in like the work that you do and like the products you put out. Like, when do you know that something's final? Like, when are you like, all right, this shit, it's like, it's popping, like it works, you know, I'm ready to put this out?
That's a good question too. This is probably the best artist answer. You know, it's never perfect. You know, I'm not gonna do, you know, I could point out things that I currently don't like about my album, you know, like little mistakes or something I could have done better, or even sounds like that I didn't want. But, you know, that's the classic like curse of an artist. Every artist looks at his work with like the most critical lens. But beyond that, yeah, I do have an extremely high, you know, attention to detail when it comes to my craft, because for me, it's like I don't want to put myself out there with some like amateur bullshit. You know what I mean? You know, I'm in this to build a career and, you know, like a real brand. And I want to, you know, ultimately the goal is to become like, not to pigeonhole, but, you know, like one of the great artists of all time, or hip-hop artists. I would like real music that's here to stay. You know what I mean? And it might not be on this album. I mean, I think there's, like, this album is a great insight into, like, my abilities. But by no means, like, I learned so much from making the album. I've got, like, more stuff on deck that's just even 10 times better than the album. Which, you know, obviously it's like, I'm sure any artist would say that. It's like, oh, you know, like, my new stuff's so much better. But, you know, it's all part of the process. Like, someone said this to me, and I'll end my rant here, but he's like, you don't want to put your best content on your first album. People want to grow with you. They want to listen to the album. And I want to see, you know, the next stuff you put out, like this progression of getting better. And, you know, I think that's, you know, the people who are already following me, like, you're gonna get to see the ride from like day one, because like we're just getting started. Like, it's been just over a month since the album's been out, so yeah. What's the same question to you? So if I ask you your question, what's
I don't know, man. I think
your
about
attention
that
to
a lot.
detail, your process, your
I think about that a lot. I mean, for me, I feel like at its core, art is a collaborative exercise. Like, no art is perfect with just one person. I feel like, for one thing, working with a bunch of artists, there's always going to be, other, like, guys like yourself, lyricists, like singers, songwriters, other composers, other producers, mixing engineers that are going to see something totally different.
yeah.
So for me, like, a single, whether it's a single or an album or an EP, it's like, it's got to be collaborative. It's got to...
But you have to trust who you collaborate to, because, like,
yeah.
you know what they say about opinions. Like, as picky as you are about your music, you gotta surround yourself with people who are gonna hold you to that standard, who you trust. Because you don't want some, like, you gotta recruit artists that you kind of fuck with to critique your stuff, or you're gonna, like, you don't want to be steered in the wrong direction. So
yeah. And that's the thing is, like, I think that's one of the most critical pieces for me is, like, finding those guys. Yeah, surrounding myself with, like, really great people that can, like, do that collaboration really well, see those things really well. And then beyond from there, I think, once there's kind of, like, of those involved, or even just myself, like, once I get a sense that, like, okay, this is good to go, like, this, this has all the essential elements, it's got, all of the different creative pieces I want, it's got a good sound, from there, it's a matter of just putting the record out and seeing how people respond, and figuring out a marketing plan that works, that I know is going to make the record pop.
Yeah, I agree. You guys, you want to play? So I have this random question generator. I don't know what's going to come out of it, but that could be kind of exciting.
Let's do it. Random question generator.
Right. So, first one is, what dumb accomplishment are you most proud of?
Oh my gosh.
There's just 2 minutes to count. Yeah,
oh my god. Dumb accomplishment. Making it through 2018. Right. Making it to December 2018.
It's a very low bar.
Yes.
Here, you click the button. We'll make it official.
Right. Let's do it. Alright, dude. If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be?
Fuck, dude. I don't know. Like, I guess I like spinach.
There you go.
I feel like it's pretty iconic.
Yeah. It's a good vegetable.
Yeah, it's a good vegetable. What about you?
First thing that came to my mind.
It's kind of a weird question. We have to think about it.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking about a carrot. I don't know why it'd be a carrot.
That's an iconic vegetable too.
All right, cool, carrot. Let's do it, carrot.
All right, next one. What are you interested in that most people haven't heard of?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, this is I do love tequila. This is great tequila. Carmen tequila is awesome.
It's some good shit.
It is really good. I eat a lot of caramel creams. Those like candies,
like the old school ones.
Yeah, and I'm like a big fan of those.
But like a lot of people have heard of that. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people wouldn't know that about me at first. They'd be like,
do you have caramel candies on you now?
I don't. I know, man. I know.
Alright, you're out, bro.
Failure. Mountains or ocean?
Oceans. Oceans. I'm gonna be set up out in LA in the next month, so I put my money where my mouth is. Definitely oceans. But I do like mountains, but I'd live ocean, but visit mountains.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like that.
What about you?
Same.
If the questions are good, we'll just both answer them. Let's see. Hold on. If you could have any superpower, what would it be, and why? Pretty generic, but we'll do it.
I don't know. I feel like I think it'd be really great to have like unlimited knowledge. I don't know. I feel like it'd be great to like.
It's super nerdy.
Yeah, I know it's like super nerdy, but I feel like it would just be awesome to like take a standardized test and like boom, perfect score.
Hey man, each his own. I have thought about this a lot in my life, just for fun. It would be teleporting.
Yeah.
It just seems like the most. What's that movie called where the kid like teleports into the bank and like steals?
Shit.
Do you know what it's called?